All right, let's dive in. Today we're taking a look at, well, zinnias.
Zinnias. Sounds colorful.
Oh, yeah. And this deep dive is inspired by a blog post we found. It's called Notes on Gardening.
Okay.
It's actually part 436.
Wow, 436.
That's right. This person's been writing about gardening for a while. The post is titled,
Wait, who wrote it?
it's by Ang.
Okay.
Ang, self-described old software plumber.
Software plumber. That's a new one.
I know. So the post is called The Bicolor Elegance of Zinna Elegan. It's on qianming.org. And get this, it was posted on February 2nd, 2025.
Okay, so pretty recent.
Yeah. And what really caught my eye about this post was that Aang used, one of those AI tools.
Oh, to like identify plants.
Exactly, to ID the zinnia, but the AI got it totally wrong.
No way.
Yeah, thought it was a brittle bush.
Brittle bush. Oh, wow, that's not even close.
Not even close. So we'll be talking about this beautiful Zinnia Elegans, but also about technology and, where it might not be so helpful in the garden.
Interesting. So what about these zinnias?
Well, Aang describes them as having these striking yellow and red bicolored blooms.
Striking. That's a good word for them. Those bicolored blooms are really something, aren't they? Makes you wonder about the genetics behind them.
Yeah, how do you get those two colors in one flower?
Well, there are a couple ways it could happen. Sometimes it's just natural variation within the species. Like, you have different alleles for color that express themselves in that way, that bicolor way.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's from hybridization, like breeders intentionally crossing different zinnia varieties to create those unique color combinations.
Interesting. So it's like mixing colors.
Exactly, but with genetics.
Now, just so everyone's on the same page, can you give us a quick rundown on zinnias in general? Like, where do they come from? What are they known for?
Sure. So zinnias are originally from Mexico.
Mexico, huh?
Yep, but you find them everywhere now. They're pretty popular. People love them for their bright colors, their love of sun, and they're relatively easy to take care of.
Easy to take care of.
Yeah, which is why they're so popular
Yeah.
for, both experienced gardeners and beginners.
Speaking of beginners, Aang mentions some initial struggles with growing them from seed.
Yeah, starting from seed can be tricky.
Right. A lot of our listeners have probably been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And some zinnias can be a bit more difficult than others.
What kinds of challenges do you think would make someone like Aang struggle? What would you tell someone who's, just starting out with zinnias? Well, in the blog, Aang says they were discouraged because the seeds weren't sprouting.
Yeah.
What are some of the common mistakes people make when starting zinnia seeds? Any secrets to success?
Planting too deep is a big one. They're light germinators, zinnias.
Late germinators.
Yeah, they need light to actually sprout.
Uh-huh.
You almost want to just sprinkle them on top of the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And then just press them in gently.
Uh-huh.
Temperature can also be an issue. Zinnias like it warm. If you started them inside, a heat mat can help a lot.
Oh, that's a good tip.
And moisture, of
Yeah.
course. Keep them consistently moist, but not too much. You don't want to drown them, especially when they're just seedlings.
Makes sense. It seems like seeing the zinnias at the local nursery really encouraged Aang.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I get that, seeing something thrive in the same area gives you hope.
Absolutely. Maybe Aang's local climate is well suited for zinnias. They do generally love sunshine and soil that drains well.
Yeah.
Visiting local nurseries or talking to other gardeners can really help you figure out what grows best where you are. You can tap into all that local knowledge.
That's a great idea. Okay, so we got our zinnia basics down. Let's go back to that AI misidentification for a second.
Okay.
It kind of makes you wonder how much we should trust those tools, especially for something like plants.
Right, especially for plants.
Like misidentifying a plant could have, real consequences.
Absolutely.
And you were talking about the bicolor blooms and how they're a result of genetics.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that complexity, the two colors, could have confused the AI?
It's possible. AI image recognition uses patterns and data sets to identify things. They've gotten a lot better, but they can still be fooled.
Oh, I see.
Especially by something unusual, something they haven't seen a lot of before. A bicolored zinnia with its unique colors and patterns could have thrown it off.
I hadn't thought of that. It's like the AI hadn't seen enough bicolored zinnias to know what it was looking at.
Right.
Which reminds me, Aang's a software plumber, right?
That's right.
Do you think that background, in software might make them more aware of the problems with AI, even in gardening?
Maybe. Someone who understands software and algorithms might be more likely to double check what the AI says.
Yeah.
Rely on their own eyes and knowledge, like Aang did.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, it's a good reminder, you know. Trust but verify,
Yeah.
especially with something like plants.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of trusting and verifying, there was another part of Eng's blog post that caught my attention. Eng mentions putting off seed,
Mm-hmm.
starting because of, long delayed painting
Oh,
projects.
yeah, I remember that, hello. It's like, there's always something, right?
Always something. I bet a lot of our listeners can relate to that.
Oh, totally. It's that balance, isn't it, between the things we want to do and the things we have to do.
Exactly.
Mm.
It makes you wonder if Eng sees any parallels between their work, as a software plumber
Right.
and gardening. Both involve problem solving and a kind of creativity, even if they're very different.
That's a really interesting point. It's like this underlying theme of making things work, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's code or a garden.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Eng's taking it a step further, planning a dedicated workspace for seedlings.
I love that. It's like making space for your passions, you know?
Absolutely. It shows dedication, doesn't it?
It does. And who knows, maybe having that dedicated space will help with those seed starting challenges.
Maybe. Speaking of zinnias, before we move on, I wanted to touch on something we talked about earlier,
Right.
the different varieties of zinnias. Zinnia elegans, the one we've been talking about.
Right.
It's just one type.
Oh, there are more.
Oh, yeah. There's so many different zinnias out there, so many shapes and sizes and colors.
Why? Now I'm really curious. What are some other types that, our listeners might like?
Hmm. Well, if you want something different from the classic elegans,
Okay.
you could try the Zahara series. They're really good at resisting diseases,
Oh, that's good.
and they tolerate heat really well, so they're great if you live somewhere warm. They come in tons of colors, too.
Like what?
Oh, bright reds, oranges, yellows, even pastels.
Ooh, pastels.
Now, if you have limited space, maybe a smaller garden,
Right.
the Profusion series is perfect for containers. They're compact, but still have lots of color.
Okay.
And they bloom a lot, so you'll have color all summer long.
So many options. It would be amazing if AI could help us navigate all these different zinnias.
That would be something, wouldn't it?
Like, imagine an app that could just tell you the best zinnias for your garden.
Based on your soil, the sunlight.
Yeah. And maybe even your personal preferences, like the colors you like.
Like a personal Zinnia consultant. This whole conversation about Zinnia's AI and Aang, the software plumber,
Yeah.
it's made me think about something.
What's that?
Our interests, even when they seem totally different, they can connect and influence each other in really interesting ways.
Like, we all have these different sides to us, and they can work together.
Yeah, and I think it's a good reminder, don't be afraid to explore those connections.
Yeah.
See how your passions, kind of feed each other. Who knows what you might discover?
It's like cross-pollination.
Exactly.
And it goes back to what we were talking about before, about balancing our passions with all the other things we have to do in life.
Right, the practical stuff.
And Aang's blog is a great example of that, right? You have the gardening stuff, but you can also see hints of all these other interests.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it makes you think about how we can, encourage that balance in our own lives.
Yeah. How do we do that?
Well, maybe it's about creating spaces for those passions, like Aang's seedling workspace.
Right, a dedicated space.
Or maybe it's about finding ways to, work those passions into our everyday routines.
Like listening to a podcast about zinnias while you're painting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe using technology like those AI gardening apps we were talking about.
Yeah, to make it easier to do the things we love.
Right.
There are so many possibilities. I think that's what's so inspiring about all this,
Yeah,
It's not just about zinnias, it's about being curious, exploring connections.
absolutely.
And finding a way to make it all work.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And maybe, just like those bicolored zinnias, we can find beauty in the unexpected ways our lives come together.
Beautiful. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into zinnias, AI, and old software plumbers.
That was fun.
It was. What stood out to you the most?
I think the biggest thing for me was that idea of how things connect,
Yeah.
even things that seem totally different.
Me too. And now I'm even more curious to see what else Aang's writing about,
Oh, yeah.
What other connections are out there? So to our listener, we'll leave you with this. What unexpected connections are hiding in your own life? What are you passionate about? And how does it all fit together? Happy exploring.